Alright, this is part 2 of Unit C, Day 1. We're on this example here with partitioning line segments. Notice the ratio is written as a fraction, so because it says ratio, we're going to treat it as 1 to 3 and not as a fraction of 1/3. It would mean something different to say find the point P 1/3 along the way. That would be a different ratio, but we're going to look at this as 1 to 3. Just to review real quick what the formula is. So our x-coordinate is going to be x equals m x2 plus n x1 all over m plus n. M is the first number in the ratio, n is the second. X1 is the first point mentioned, so since A is mentioned, A is x1, y1. x2 is the second point mentioned, so the B is the x2. Alright, so plugging into our formula, we get 1 times 7 plus 3 times -1 all over 1 plus 3. So we have 7 minus 3, which is 4 over 4, and our x-coordinate is 1. The y-coordinate is going to be similar. So the y-coordinate is m times y2, which is 8. Sorry, we should write what m is. M is 1. Plus n, which is 3, times y1, which is 2, all over m plus n. So I've got 8 plus 6, which is 14, all over 4. 7 halves, or 3.5. Okay. The last step is to write this as an ordered pair. So our x value is 1, our y value is 3.5. It said find the point P, so we'll label this as point P. That's it. You may pause and go back as needed. Zoom in a little bit. Here's the work. And I'm about to move on. Alright, we've got another partition segment, 3 to 4. So if you want to try this on your own, go ahead and pause it and see if you can get it on your own, and I will work through it. Alright, so your A again is your x1, y1. And your B, it's mentioned second, so it's going to be the x2, y2. And in our partition segment, the 3 is the m, the 4 is the n. So going from there, our x-coordinate is going to be m, which is 3, times x2, which is 2, plus n, which is 4, times x1, which is -4, all over m plus n. 6 minus 16 is -10, all over 7. And our y-coordinate, very similar, is m, which is 3, times y2, which is 8, plus n, which is 4, times y1, which is 2, all over m plus n, which is 3 plus 4. So 24 plus 8 should be 32 over 7. And the last step is to write it as an ordered pair. So we've got an x-coordinate of, let's call it -1 3/7. let's call that 4 4/7. Probably should use decimals or mixed numbers when we're on a coordinate plane. Alright, go ahead and pause or rewind. Here's my work. The only thing I should have put here was 3 plus 4. Okay, that looks good. Alright, let's go on. So last thing we're going to look at in this lesson is using a grid to answer word problems. So this says, what is the distance from the coffee shop to the school? Here's the coffee shop, here's the school. So we can use the ordered pairs. This is a little bit tricky. The y's are above the line and the x's are to the right of the line. So coffee shop looks like our y value is going to be 15 and our x value is going to be 12, I believe. The school, well, it's pretty near the top, so it might be easier to count backwards. So 1 down on the y is going to be 19, and 19, 18, 17 on the x. So our distance, using our distance formula, we're going to do y, or x minus x squared. So our distance is going to be the square root of x minus x squared, 17 minus 12, plus 19 minus 15 squared, that's a 15, and this is going to be 5 squared, wow, my handwriting is bad, try that again, 5 squared plus 4 squared, 25 plus 16 is 41, so we get the square root of 41, which is about 6.4 units. Okay, if you need to pause, go back and look at that, go ahead. Alright, the next one we're looking at for the midpoint between Bill and Nima. I'm going to go ahead and erase these. So come down here, we're looking at this is a coordinate of 4, 4, it looks like to me. And Bill has a coordinates of 10, 6. So we're looking at the midpoint. The midpoint is the average. So it's going to be 4 plus 10 over 2, that's a plus. And 4 plus 6 over 2. So it looks like the midpoint is going to be 4 plus 10 is 14 over 2 is 7. 4 plus 6 is 10 over 2 is 5. Looks like the midpoint should be at 7, 5. And 7, 5 would be about right here. This looks about right. So there's math behind that. If you want to go ahead and pause and make sure you got that down, go ahead. I'm going to move on. Alright, last one. The coffee shop is halfway between the theater and a park. Find the coordinates of the park. So the park is not on the map, but we know that if we go from the theater to the coffee shop, we're halfway. So we're going to assume it's a straight line halfway, so it's going to be somewhere around here. The coordinates for the theater are the y value is 20 because it's at the top, and the x value looks to be 8. The coffee shop, I believe, we may have found before, which is, what is it, 15, 12, 15 maybe? Yeah, so it's 12, 15. So, if we come down here, then a straight line, was it 820 and 1215, and unknown, unknown. So we added 4 to get there. This is +4, +4 more is 16. Should be using colors, huh? This is -5, -5 more is 10. So the park should be at the coordinate 16, 10. And 16, 10, looky there. Looks about right. You could always count it backwards if you wanted, so however you count to the coffee shop should be the same count to the theater. Alright, you should have a worksheet to do, and tomorrow there's going to be a quiz, so we will see you later.